Why is Mysaria called the White Worm? House of the Dragon explained. Spoiler warning before we begin. This video contains major spoilers for House of the Dragon, along with discussion of George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood. We'll be exploring Mysaria's mysterious past, the true meaning behind her famous nickname, and why she's become one of the most dangerous people in Westeros. With that said, let's get started. Every great player in the Game of Thrones has a name that inspires fear. The Mountain, the Hound, the Sea Snake, the Rogue Prince. But perhaps no nickname is more mysterious than the White Worm. It's a name whispered in dark taverns, feared inside the Red Keep, and respected by kings, queens, spies, and criminals alike. But have you ever wondered, why is Mysaria called the White Worm? Was she born with that name? Did someone give it to her? Or does it hide a much darker meaning? Let's break it all down. Long before Mysaria became one of the most powerful spies in Westeros, she was nobody. She wasn't born into a great house, she didn't inherit wealth, she didn't ride dragons, she didn't command armies. Instead, she came from Lies, one of the famous free cities across the Narrow Sea. Lies was known throughout the world for its beauty, its merchants, and, unfortunately, its slave trade. Like many people brought from the free cities to Westeros, Mysaria's early life was filled with hardship. She understood suffering long before she ever understood power. When Mysaria first arrived in King's Landing, she had nothing. No family, no allies, no noble title. The only thing she possessed was the ability to observe people. She listened, she remembered, she noticed things others ignored. Slowly, she realized something important. Kings protect themselves with swords, but kingdoms are controlled by information. That realization would change her entire life. So where does the nickname, the White Worm, actually come from? The answer isn't as simple as many fans think. George R.R. Martin never gives one definitive explanation. Instead, the nickname carries several meanings. The most obvious connection is Mysaria herself. She is originally from Lies, a city famous for its pale-skinned people with silver blonde hair and striking beauty. Because of her unusually pale appearance compared to many people in King's Landing, some believe the word white refers directly to her Lysine heritage. But what about the worm? Unlike dragons, or lions, or wolves, a worm isn't powerful through strength. It survives by staying hidden, moving quietly, slipping through places nobody notices. That's exactly how Mysaria builds her empire. She doesn't conquer castles, she doesn't lead armies. She moves beneath the surface, listening, watching, collecting secrets. By the time powerful lords realize she's involved, it's already too late. In many ways, she behaves exactly like a worm beneath the soil, invisible, patient, always working in the shadows. There's another fascinating interpretation. Throughout history, people often viewed worms as creatures that could reach places no one else could, underground, inside walls, through tiny cracks. That's the perfect metaphor for Mysaria's spy network. Her informants seem to be everywhere. Inside brothels, markets, the royal court, the city watch, even inside the Red Keep itself. No secret stays hidden for long, because somehow the White Worm always finds it. One of Mysaria's greatest strengths isn't intelligence alone, it's invisibility. Powerful nobles constantly underestimate her. They see a former dancer, a foreigner, a woman without noble blood. They assume she has no influence. Meanwhile, she's quietly building one of the largest intelligence networks in the Seven Kingdoms. By the time they realize the truth, she already knows all of theirs. That's exactly why Daemon Targaryen becomes interested in her. At first, their relationship appears personal, even romantic. But beneath that, Daemon quickly recognizes something extraordinary. Mysaria knows things that princes shouldn't know, things that kings can't discover. For a man like Daemon, having someone like Mysaria nearby is almost as valuable as having another dragon. As the story progresses, the White Worm becomes much more than an informant. She becomes a strategist. She understands something that many rulers never learn. Wars aren't won only on battlefields. Sometimes the most important battle happens before swords are even drawn. A single secret, a single rumor, a single letter intercepted at the right moment can change the fate of an entire kingdom. That's the world Mysaria controls. By the time of the Dance of the Dragons, even Queen Rhaenyra begins relying on her, not because Mysaria commands soldiers, but because information has become the most valuable currency in Westeros. Throughout Season 3, we repeatedly see just how much influence Mysaria has gained. She knows what's happening inside King's Landing. She uncovers political conspiracies. She tracks the movements of enemies, and sometimes she chooses which secrets deserve to reach the queen and which ones remain hidden. That power makes her one of the most dangerous people in the realm, because knowledge can be far deadlier than dragonfire. The books take this idea even further. In Fire and Blood, Mysaria eventually becomes mistress of whisperers during Rhaenyra's rule. Her influence over the queen grows stronger with each passing chapter. Some readers believe she genuinely wants to protect Rhaenyra. Others argue she's always protecting herself first. George R.R. Martin deliberately leaves her true motivations unclear, and that's exactly what makes her such a compelling character. Is she loyal, manipulative, or simply surviving in the only way she knows how? Even readers still debate the answer. There's another symbolic reason the nickname works so well. Think about dragons. They're loud, spectacular, impossible to ignore. Now think about worms. Small, silent, almost invisible. House of the Dragon constantly reminds us that dragons may win battles, but whispers often decide wars. Mysaria represents that idea perfectly. While dragon riders fight in the skies, she's already shaping events on the ground, without ever drawing a sword. Perhaps the most fascinating part of her nickname is that nobody laughs at it. No one dismisses the White Worm. Why? Because everyone understands what it represents. If Mysaria knows your secret, she already has power over you. That's far more frightening than any army, because secrets destroy kingdoms from the inside. There's another layer to her story that makes the nickname even more fitting. A worm survives because it adapts. It doesn't challenge stronger predators head-on. It waits. It changes direction. It finds another path. That's exactly how Mysaria has survived in Westeros. She's lived through different rulers, different wars, different alliances. While kings lose their crowns and dragon riders lose their dragons, the White Worm keeps surviving. Not because she's the strongest person in the room, but because she's usually the smartest. Final thoughts. So, why is Mysaria called the White Worm? Partly because of her pale, lysine appearance, but more importantly, because she embodies everything the nickname represents. Invisible, patient, resourceful. Always moving beneath the surface. While dragons dominate the skies, Mysaria dominates the shadows. She doesn't need armies, she doesn't need a crown, she doesn't even need a dragon. Because information has always been her greatest weapon. And in the world of House of the Dragon, the person who controls the secrets often controls the kingdom. Perhaps that's why rulers fear the White Worm more than many knights or dragon riders. You can see a dragon coming. You can prepare for an army. But you'll never know when a whisper has already changed your fate. So what do you think? Do you believe Mysaria has always been loyal to Rhaenyra, or has she always been playing her own game? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more House of the Dragon explainers, Fire and Blood lore, hidden details, character histories, and everything from the world of A Song of Ice and Fire.